BYU falls to Arizona 85-74. The four-game winning streak for the Cougars comes to an end. Mitch, Harper, Matt Baiamonte here at the Marriott Center. It was a late night here at the Marriott Center, and maybe it was too late for BYU's offense because they went to sleep in the second half. 7-minute stretch there, no field goals. Arizona pulled away.
13 points in the final 11 minutes. They go up 61-60 on a Cannon Catchings made three at about that 11-minute mark, and there was a lot of juice in the building, and then Caleb Love came down and buried a three, and from that point forward, you didn't feel a lot of flow, you didn't feel a lot of energy offensively, and even Dallin Hall and Kevin Young noted that they felt like their ability to not get stops affected how they ran their offense, and Arizona took advantage.
Caleb Love, he's had games this year, even against Iowa State where he was dominant in overtime. He'd go 1 of 10. Tonight, he was productive. He just always had the clutch shots for Arizona, and that one you noted where it put him up 63-61, that was huge. And, Tommy Lloyd in the postgame, I thought his insight was pretty interesting. Yeah. Very complimentary to the environment here at the Marriott Center. He noted that sometimes he took a Phil Jackson approach. Better to not call a timeout and just let his players respond instead of burning a timeout.
And it worked brilliantly for him because they did respond and they took the energy right out of the building. I thought BYU, and Kevin Young was quick to point out he didn't think the loss was due to rebounding. But when you get beat by 15 on the glass, that is hard to overcome because there's so many times where if you secure that rebound, you get out and run. Kevin Young is very big into our offense flows and is predicated off of getting out and running and getting in transition. If you can't secure a defensive rebound, it's very hard to get out and run. And in the first half, they were out-rebounded. It was only by 6. You felt like they were hanging in there, out-rebounded by 9 in that second half. And there was no flow, and I felt like a lot of that stemmed to their inability to rebound.
No question. And you're not going to find many games where Keba Keita only has 4 rebounds. Arizona was impressive, and Visar, he had some big shots too. He was a force. Even he gave, at times, I think it was at the end of the first half, a dose of Keita's own medicine with an alley-oop. Arizona just always had answers. When BYU had moments where they were turning the corner and gaining momentum, they responded. They looked like a team that's ready to contend for a Big 12 title. 10-1 are the Wildcats now in league play. BYU still in the thick of not necessarily the Big 12 title race, but as far as NCAA tournament goes, 6-5 in league. If you have a winning record in this league, you're going to be dancing in the NCAA tournament. But a step back this was a game BYU was favored, and they were at home. This was a hyped-up crowd, and BYU lost this opportunity.
I don't think it's all doom and gloom.
No.
I thought, how often are you going to shoot 3 of 18 in the second half from 3? They were sub 20%.
Yep.
During the 4-game winning streak, they were nearly making 50% of their threes. So we're talking about a really high, above average shot making ability in the winning streak, and then way below average. They're not an 18% shooting team in the second half. I think if they just make a few more threes, this is neck and neck down to the very end.
Well, and I think to your point too, the first half, that was some entertaining basketball. It was tied up at 41, and back and forth they went. And again, just moments ago, I'm saying Arizona looks like they're ready to contend for the Big 12 title. BYU was going blow for blow with them. And it was just that 7-minute stretch there, no field goals. BYU's offense was just asleep, and they could not get anything going. And Arizona pulled away. They took care of business, too, at the foul line. Jaden Bradley had 17 points in the second half. He was hitting a bunch of clutch free throws, many of which front ends. He was 8 of 8 from the foul line. BYU had to stretch. Jagor Demon missed 3 consecutive free throws. BYU's got to get better from the free throw line. That has been an issue this entire year. Even in the games against some of those, easy teams in non-conference play, free throws have been a problem for this team.
And you look at the stats of it, BYU is 8 of 14, and you'd say, well, you lose by double digits, you only miss 6. Is that the difference? Well, in key moments of games, you hit a couple of free throws, you settle things down. There's just this domino effect of making free throws and missing free throws. And then kind of circle back to some positives, though. I thought Dallin Hall's performance was really nice today. This was his first time. Make sure you're sitting down when I say this to you. This is the first time in conference play Dallin Hall's attempted double-digit field goals. By a large margin. He had never even attempted 7 before tonight's game against Arizona. He was aggressive. He was getting downhill. He was looking for a shot. Kevin Young loves that. This team needs that. And if he can find a way, game in and game out, you don't have to get double-digit field goals, but you have to be aggressive. You have to be getting downhill. I thought that was noteworthy going forward for Dallin.
And I thought both of BYU's guards, the guy over our shoulder here, Yegor Demon too, and Dallin, Arizona's defense put so much effort, it seemed like, defending the three, that it created opportunities, and BYU capitalized. They were getting downhill and getting to the rim. I thought Yegor did a nice job as far as attacking the rim. Dallin Hall did too. You know, BYU, I thought it was interesting commentary at the end too. Kevin Young said at the end of the press conference that he feels like this team can compete with anyone. And that message doesn't change. And BYU, I think, is going to be a team that can still knock off some squads, but it's just a missed opportunity because you're going to have to face Arizona again in the McKell Center. That's not going to be, a spot that's in your favor.
Right.
I got to give Arizona fans credit too. I thought,
Steve Kerr was on hand.
Steve Kerr was here, and we've covered BYU, you and I, together since 2019. Do you recall visiting fans making a presence?
No.
I was thinking about it in my head because we were hearing U of A chants. The only time I can really remember some Gonzaga games where you get some Gonzaga fans in the upper deck. Arizona fans, they had some people in the court side, Royal Blue Collective seats. They had folks in the visitor section, upper deck, and you heard some U of A chants. I think it took BYU fans aback a little bit because then they got a little defensive. We're like, BYU, BYU. But, credit to Arizona. That's a great basketball fan base, and they made their presence felt here in the Marriott Center.
It was a great environment tonight.
Yeah.
And, I was in the tunnel as Arizona was walking into the locker room. Tommy Lloyd, look, he's got a rich history here, being assistant coach with Mark Few at Gonzaga, but he's like, this is a great road win. He knows how hard it is to win here. It's a great environment, and ultimately in the final 10, Mitch, offensively, there just wasn't enough shot making to withstand Arizona's consistency. Arizona scored 41 in the first half, 44 in the second. And BYU scored 41 in that first half, but just offense failed them late.
There's some things that BYU can build on still coming out of this, but again, it's ultimately a missed opportunity in a game where you were the favorite, and this is your home court. Second loss in Big 12 play at home. The two losses, probably the two best teams right now, maybe, in the Big 12, Texas Tech and Arizona. So for Matt Baiamonte, Mitch Harper, go check out all of our coverage from this game on KSLSports.com.